All right, we're here with Kyle Reid, who got his invite with zombies at Indianapolis, Indiana. What place did you get?
36.
36th? All right, you can go ahead and show us that deck profile for us.
Sure. Okay, so the deck that I played is my favorite. It's called Vendreads. And the main deck is comprised of these ritual monsters here. This is the main monster you want to summon the most. These two are kind of like peanut butter and jelly. Like you want to see these two together all the time. You need to just get access to one to get access to the second one. Quick explanation. This monster, whenever he's sent to the grave, he searches you a ritual spell, and then he foolish burials another Vendread name. This one does the exact same except for a monster. This one is a powered up form of this one. He makes your board untargetable. There's a little combo along with these. And basically, this deck is kind of like an amalgamation of Vendread or just good zombie stuff. Zombie good stuff is probably the best way to explain it. So we got Horus monsters because they're really good at enabling you to fill up your grave and do mills with zombie vampire. As for some of the classed engines that I have, or sub engines of zombies, we have the Zuki brothers, Gozuki and Mizuki. These are the monster reborn. The other ones are foolish. Enough said about that. We got Unizombie. We played 3 of those because he's really good. He's pretty much your starter for any zombie variant. And then for a small Shiranui package, these were useful whenever you go into Shifter. There's a few small lines you can take to give yourself a slight chance at playing the game because they actually have effects that trigger under Banish instead of Grave like traditional zombies. But this guy is basically a lone flower for zombies. And then this guy lets you pop stuff whenever it's banished. So that's kind of cool. And it also lets you summon them from the banish as well. So as for the little Vendreads, for the 1, 2, 3, and the level 6, these are the ones I choose to play. Vendread Core, they all pretty much are like plague spreaders. They let you just revive themselves under their own conditions. And then they're banished when they leave the field, except for the bigger one. So all the level 4 and lowers have that. This one reveals a Vendread for cost from hand to special it from the grave. This one pitches one from hand. This one banishes a zombie from your grave to summon. And they all give effects to the ritual monster when you use them. This one makes them a cyclone on wheels. This one makes them like a one-sided Dark World Dealings. This one right here makes the ritual monster untargetable, which is paired with the X that I mentioned earlier. And this one actually lets you get a search whenever it's sent to the grave. And if a monster is tributed on the field, such as a ritual spell or nib, wink wink, you can drop this guy out and then extend past the nib. I was actually playing 2 at the time. I don't have the third in my original list for that event, but at the time I only had 2. It was a miscount on my part. But this card is absolutely should be a 3. He's really amazing. A lot of people have done deck profiles and just topic discussions on this card. And it's a really good card. We got typical just good zombie stuff. People know these two already, so I'm not going to explain these two. Pull out a couple of tuners that people may be familiar with. Plague Spreader, Mad Mauler, and then Necro Shinobi. They're all basically just grave extenders. Just let you spam board and give you synchro options or link climb. These ones might not make the most sense unless you like see them in action. But Chang Shi does different lines to get her out. She's a zombie extender as well. Foolish Burial, she's banished, but she's a 6-foot slayer in Origin. The ritual spell lets you banish zombies to summon, so like it just gives you like a lot of snowballing ability. Same thing with Algol Mazar. He triggers on the banish as well. So we got a lot of good protection spells and protection abilities built into the monsters. Speaking of which, this is the main ritual spell, and it's similar to Branded Opening where it provides protection for your Vendread monsters, Slayer specifically. Protects them from destruction by battle or artifact. And as an added bonus, it's not limited to once per turn, like the opening. So the activation, any effects, you can just keep using as long as you have fuel for it. You tribute monsters and or banish zombies to summon your Vendread monsters from hand or grave. This is the explanation for the Goblin Zombie. This is a really cool tech. It's called Goblin Breaker Grand Breakout. Its main purpose is to just dodge certain pieces of interaction, such as like a Veiler, Imperms, all of those sorts of cards. So basically, I just turbo out Goblin Zombie. And then Goblin Zombie itself is a good search once it's
Oh,
sent
wow.
from field to grave.
That's pretty lit.
More consistency cards, pre-prep, really good. Origin specifies Slayer's name on the card, as well as Ravenous Vendread has the other guy, I forget his name at the moment, but you can just search Slayer and Origin, ideally off this, and then that gets your engine going. This is a card that I'm probably going to move forward, be playing 3, but again, at the regional, I was rushing for time. I have a bad habit of showing up late to events. Anybody that knows me, if they've seen an older deck profile, like years ago, that was the case. Some things just don't change. This card is amazing though. On activation, Foolish is a level 5 zombie. And also you get a zombie token, and if it's in the grave, and a monster is added back from other player's grave back to the hand, then you can add this from your grave to hand. So this card is amazing. It should be at 3. Shout out to Suda. That set was a blessing. Spring Darkness all the way. This one's basically like an E-Telly for the Vendread deck. You same for cost though, which is perfectly fine because you want to fill your grave up. Hand advantage is not really the goal. Grave control and recursion and combo boards is the ideal game plan. Let's move this around just because this is give me an aneurysm looking at it. Well, triple sorts, really good. I think I was playing 2 talents at the time, but again, this list is a little bit different because I'm basing it off memory from a while. So we just got a bunch of power spells. These are some of the other ritual spells. This was kind of like a branded fusion for the deck, but in ritual form. This one's similar to like E-Telly, but you ritual. So those are like the additional powerful cards. And then Grass, because it's a 60 card combo power. You just want to keep dumping and milling a bunch of monsters and reviving them. Foolish, Ghost Sark, and this. Ghost Sark probably doesn't make a lot of sense at the surface, but there's a couple monsters that pair really well into this, like such as Chain Shi, Desperado, or some of the Shiranui monsters that I mentioned earlier that have effects that trigger under Banish. And then the other monster, the Dark Necromancer, which secret effect says whenever it's banished, you can revive itself or any other zombie that's level 4 or lower. Or Fiends too, but we're not playing Fiends, so it doesn't matter. That's it for the main deck. Would you like me to move on to the extra deck, Mikey?
Yeah.
Alright, so Spice Friend, Cross Sheep, this guy, that's a newbie. That card is really cool. He lets you revive. And as you saw, some of the tuners that I play, a lot of them are level 2s, so it gives you access to any of their grave utility. So that's great for this deck. Cross Sheep, you're usually using the ritual ability for the draw 2, discard 2, which is amazing. And then you got Vendread Savior. He's basically like a Sunlight Wolf for this deck. Anybody that's familiar with Solid or Toss format, Vampire Sucker. As you can see, most of the monsters are just generic, semi-generic zombie support. So you just play all of these cards because they're really good. This one's like a Charmer plus a Snatch Steal, but if you use the first effect, it locks you into zombie, so you have to be cognizant of that. She gets you a draw every turn the zombie, especially from the grave. She's an Imperm on wheels, which is kind of cool. Same for her. It's just an upgraded form of her. There's actually a really neat combo that you can do with the deck. I didn't play it too consistently at the regional because again, it's been over a month since I played at the event. But basically, you pair it with this trap, the Shiranui trap. This is the real lock, not the transaction rollback nonsense. But there's a way to naturally do it in this deck. Like there's several routes to it. It's a little harder, admittedly, than just turboing out Beatrice is using it. But basically, it's a turn skill. We got access code for a kill option. Zombie Vampire because of the horse and just a lot of level 8s naturally in the deck with synergy. He's basically a Foolish Burial. Score rate for Tom. Omega, really great at recovering your banished pieces because you're going to be wanting to spam Mizuki. And it also helps in case Doom King gets hit by a Bestial, which are very prevalent in this game, so you can recover those pieces and continue playing. These cards are really good. Ideally, inboard should end with any combination of some of these extra cards that I mentioned. Usually this guy is out in defense. I love to have these two up, but in the event that I get some of my water link zombies or the horse monsters, I get this up. Fun fact too, back when I played this deck a couple of years ago, this is a replacement for Savage. This is a replacement for Barone. And for the Yugioh, her effect, she has a negate, but it's a conditional negate. It's similar to the ruling of Kashtira monsters, the way they interact with boards. After an action occurred, then they get to target or do whatever they're going to do to banish. She targets a monster on the field and negates its effects permanently for as long as that monster remains face up on the field, as well as reduces attack to 0. So that's kind of cool. So she's basically a stricter upgrade of this one. This one's on summon. This one triggers whenever monsters, I believe, are banished, something like that. But she's just a decent inboard piece. She's also a sacrificial piece for the trap too, so it could be interrupt or just turn skip option. But she was a replacement. She's swapped from the elbow. And the Spren was always good, but Link Rebo was really good because once upon a time I played Glow Bloom, which let you do some shenanigans with that. But that being said, that is most of the deck. There's no sideboard to recall at the moment. It was just like generic board breakers. Also, resting notes. I made a couple small deck list errors. I caught it in time. However, it cost me a few slots in my list. So some of those ratios that were just presented to you were slightly off. So I believe my total deck count was probably somewhere around like 55 to 56 cards. So that was a bit of a bummer.
Gotcha. But you're going to Nats this year, right?
Probably.
That's awesome. And good news, Shifter's off the Shifter's now on the ban. Well, 1 now.
Yeah.
So like you won't have to deal with Shifter anymore. So.
Yeah. The two biggest banes in the deck are out of my way for the most part. Shifter and Dweller is the two cards that kept this deck on track. So with those two cards out of the way, I should be able to do some damage.
You're going to do great things at Nats, Kyle. Thank you for the deck profile.
Hey, catch you guys later.
All right, see ya.